Hello students. So I was discussing the chapter of South America. We have discussed about the different basins which falls in the central lowland, the Orinoco basin, the Amazon basin. Today I will discuss with the Parana, Paraguay, Uruguay basin. Now the Matagasso plateau acts as the divide between the Amazon river basin and the Parana, Paraguay, Uruguay basin to the south. The Parana and the Uruguay river drains into Rio de la Plata, and the Paraguay river is a tributary of the Parana, the second longest river in South America. So you have to just remember this, the Matagasso plateau, which acts as a divide between the Amazon river basin and the Parana, Paraguay, Uruguay basin to the south. The Parana and the Uruguay river drains into the Rio de la Plata, an estuary that lies between Argentina and Uruguay. The Paraguay river is a tributary of the Parana, the second longest river in the South America. Now let us discuss that what are estuaries. Estuaries are areas along coastline where rivers meet the ocean. In Bengali we call it as Mohona. The river where the river meets the ocean. Here the fresh water of the river mixes with the salt water of the ocean. Many of you have visited Mandarmoni and that side. There you will get Mohona. Mohona is a place where the river and the sea meets. So it is a place where the fresh water from the rivers mixes with the salt water of the ocean, resulting in water that is brackish. What is brackish? Means a salty water. You see, sometimes in the dry regions of India, the wells become brackish. That means due to the surface wells, because of too much of evaporation, there is we know that in water there are a lot of minerals and minerals. So excessive heat leads to the evaporation and the drying up of the well. Very little amount of water is left. As a result, the minerals in the water increases. The concentration of the mineral increases in the water. As a result, the water becomes unfit for drinking. That is, it becomes brackish, that is salty. And you will see that during the summer season, when the well more or less dries up, then a very bad smell comes out from the well. Now this is because the concentration of the minerals increases. Now here also the resulting in water that is brackish or slightly salty. Estuaries are some of the richest and the most diverse ecosystem in the world and support a wealth of flora and fauna. Now flora, fauna, all of you must be knowing, that is the plant kingdom and the animal kingdom. Flora and the fauna, that is the plant kingdom and the animal kingdom. So this is the estuary. So the Iguazu Falls, a series of waterfalls that extend for almost 3 kilometers, are a part of the Parana river basin. Extensive grassland called the Pampas. Now there are several grasslands all over the world, like the veld, the pampas, the prairies. So these are the different types of grassland. So the grassland in North America, we have the prairies. In South America, they have the pampas, are also found along the Parana river. The Pantanal and the Gran Chaco are distinctive subregion. So you please mark this paragraph. This is the answer of F4. F4. The Parana and the Gran Chaco are distinctive subregion of these lowlands. The Pantanal is the largest wetland in the world. The Gran Chaco, which lies south of the Pantanal, is a semi-arid region with thorn bushes, low trees and dry grassland. Next, the last we have the San Francisco Basin. The São Francisco River originates in the highlands of Minas Gerais. Minas Gerais and flows almost entirely through Brazil before draining into the Atlantic Ocean. So it originates in the Minas Gerais and it falls into the Atlantic Ocean. This river here is an important source of hydroelectric power. So all of you know what is hydroelectric power. Electricity produced from water by the fast moving of the turbines. It leads to the production of electricity. This type of electricity is known as hydroelectricity. And when electricity is produced by the burning of coal, that is known as thermal electricity or thermal power plant, as we have one in Tribeni, Bandel Thermal Power Station. So there, by the burning of coal, electricity is produced. The river is an important source of hydroelectric power and irrigation for eastern and northeastern Brazil. Now another important thing is that the Angel Falls, the world's tallest waterfall, as it flows over a teipui. Teipuis are flat-topped mountain or mesas found in the Guiana highland. Mount Roraima, Neblina and Ayuntipu are some examples of famous tepuis. So please remember, tepuis are flat-topped mountains or mesas found in the Guiana highland. And then we come to the eastern highland. Another is the confluence of the Orinoco brown water and the Caroni blue water river in Venezuela. So this is a very outstanding, extraordinary thing to be noticed, that the confluence means the meeting point of the two rivers. The confluence of Orinoco river that has brown water and the Caroni has blue water, and it is found in Venezuela. Then we have the eastern highland. The eastern highland consists of the Guiana highland, the Brazilian highland and the Patagonian plateau. So these three constitute the eastern highland. The Guiana highland and the Brazilian highland are separated by the Amazon River system. The Guiana highlands are located to the north of the Amazon River and the Brazilian highland to the south. Both these plateaus are residual mountains. Now what are residual mountains? They are the remnants of the mountain. When a high mountain which was formed long ago, these mountains were worn down by the agents of erosion like glaciers, rivers, rain, wind, heat or frost. So at one point of time they were very high mountains, but because of the process of erosion it has been eroded and the height has come down. The softer rocks were removed, leaving behind the hard layers standing as flat top mountain. So they are known as the residual mountain, which are made up of old hard rocks. They form steep cliffs along the Atlantic coast and slope gently towards the central lowland on the western side. Next, the plateau of Mato Grosso lie on the western part of the Brazilian highland. Patagonia, a cold, wind-swept Piedmont plateau, is located along the foot of the Andes in southern Argentina, and it is a cold desert. Now the coastal plains that which borders the coast of the South America are, it has two narrow coastal plains. One lies along the northeast Brazil and the other lies along the west coast of South America between the Pacific and the Andes. The northeast coastal plain is narrow, small and very dry. The western coastal plain is one of the longest coastal plains in the world. Wide in most places, the coast becomes narrow at points where edges of the Andes jut sharply into the ocean. So you will may be asked to write the difference between the eastern coastal plain and the western coastal plain. Then the region experiences extreme aridity. Aridity means extreme, which are like a desert, is a result of the cold Peruvian current that flows along the western coast. The cold current cools and dries the air that flow over it, thereby preventing the formation of rain. You know, the cold current cools and dries the air because cool air cannot cause rain. It should be warm air. Flows over it, thereby preventing the formation of rain. The Atacama Desert, considered to be the driest desert in the world, lies on the western coastal plain. The average annual rainfall here is barely 1 millimeter because of the extreme aridity of the region, which is because of the cold Peruvian current, which does not allow the cold current cools and dries the air. That dries the air because the moisture, it becomes dry because of the cold current. So it causes no rainfall. So the Atacama Desert considered to be the driest desert. Because of this cold Peruvian current, it dries the air and the air is devoid of moisture, so there is no rainfall at all. And the last part is the drainage. South America is drained by many rivers. Most of the major ones flow west to east and empty into the Atlantic Ocean. However, hundreds of short, fast flowing streams also flow westward from the Andes into the Pacific. The main river of America are listed on the next page. So we have the names of the different rivers. Now this portion you have to remember that what is the source and where it drains into. Length you don't have to do, but what is the source? Like we have done that the Amazon in the Peruvian Andes and drains into the Atlantic Ocean, Orinoco, Guiana Highlands and Atlantic Ocean. In this way you will have to do the name of the question. I will give you name of the river. Either I will give you the source, you will have to write drain into, or I will write drain into, you have to write the source. In this way question will be formed. So in this way, in the video I have completed this chapter. So next day in the online class I will try to explain the entire chapter. Till then, all of you take care of yourself, stay safe, stay healthy. Goodbye.